Light, shadow, and reflection. Today, I want to discuss about this with you. We will explore concepts. We will try to understand. I will teach you concepts. Okay. I will discuss concepts. Then I will tell you what. I will give you some question. We will solve together. Logically, we will be solving. We will have what? Some questions based on concepts that we are going to understand in this lecture. As you see, as you can see, this is going to be our lecture. Okay, light, reflection, shadow. Light, reflection, shadow. Look, there are some words. There are some words that we need to understand. It will be important to understand some words that are important from this lecture. Okay. First, let's start from light word. Let's start from light word. Light. Okay. What light? Light, as you see in your house, in your city, in your area. Did you realize what size of light? Different light. Did you realize? Bulb, size of bulb is a different from tube lights, from other lights. Okay. Sometimes you might have seen what a small light, a small light which is seen more in Diwali festival. In Diwali festival, a small lights I am talking about. So from here I am telling you that there are a lot of lights which size are different. Yes. Okay, it doesn't matter. But all those lights are emitting what? Are giving us light. Okay, are giving us light. All those lights are glowing up. Yeah. Are glowing up. Light. Then so here there are a lot of objects as you see in your daily life. There are a lot of objects in front of me. There are a lot of objects. This, that, this. Which one object I should take? There are a lot of objects. Even we cannot imagine. Okay. So here, main point is to now. Any object we want to see. We see a lot of objects. So how is it possible? This is a question. How is it possible to see a lot of objects that are in front of us, and how it became possible? You can see. So can you tell me about this question? Can you answer? Question is simple. I would like to repeat it again. Question is, how did it become possible to see all objects that are in front of us? This is question. And answer is behind of question. Answer is behind of question. So it became possible because of light. Because of light. Okay. It became possible because of light. We can see any objects. Any object? Yes, any object. I am not talking about gas. I am not talking about liquid. Liquid we can see. Solid materials we can see. Gas even we can see. But here let's take what solid and liquid. So object that you can see in front of. So it became possible because of light. Okay. Now, how can we say that because of light we are able to see this type of objects? Not so I can say uh, light, bulb bulb glows, and then this bulb emits light, and this light is falling where? On object. This light falls. The light hits the surface of the object, and then it get reflects into different direction, into different direction. With a diagram, I would like to teach you about this. Let's say this is what object. This is object. I am considering it as a object, and there is what? A light. There is what? A light. Let's say there is a what? There is a light, and this is a light. I am considering it as a light, and it is what? Object. It is object. First, this is light and this is object. From this diagram, we are understanding how did it become to see all the objects that are in front of us. Now here, when it emits their light, so light will come like this, isn't it? Light will come like this. It goes in different direction, isn't it? When electricity will follow, when electricity will go through this filament, then this bulb will glow up, and it will emit their light like this in different direction, and some direction of this lights will hit on surface of this object, isn't it? It is true or not? Yes, it is making sense. So sunlight, of course, will hit on surface of this object. It will not enter. It will this light, this ray light will not enter inside this object. No, it will not happen. Instead, it will turn into another direction. This light ray, which is coming, will turn into another direction after hitting the surface of the object. Clear? So how will it turn? How will it turn? Like this. So again, it will reflect into another direction. Okay, like that. Are you understanding? From this figure, you can also understand what is the reflection of light. But let me complete about this, which we are understanding. Light is coming. Okay. I would like to discuss about reflection that is coming here in this. So I think so I should explain about the reflection of light. Look, this light. Okay, this light. First point, you are clear. What? This light will not enter inside this object, because it will not enter. Rather, it will take turn into another direction, like that. So here, this ray light will be considered. This ray light will be considered as what? Incidence ray. So, what is incidence ray? What is incidence ray? It is a ray of light. It is a ray of light which is coming, but it will be coming from source light. Clear? It will be coming from source light, and from the source light till the hitting till the surface. So from the source light and till the surface, this ray line will be considered as incidence ray. and after hitting this incidence is hitting this is surface. So after hitting, this is also ray light, but it will be considered something else. So something else will be what? A reflected ray. A reflected ray. Okay, because it reflected this ray reflected. So after hitting this a ray which is hitting the surface. So after hitting the surface and till the another surface of object will be what? A reflected ray. Clear? Will be reflected. Okay. So about incidence reflected ray, you understood? Now we can see any object because of light comes and hits on the surface of object and it get reflects again. So that is how we are able to see because of light is falling on the surface. That's why right now we can see a lot of objects. Okay. Now next is what? Ray lights. Okay. Object. Nature light, artificial light. So what's the different nature light object and artificial light object? There are two types of objects in the world. First is nature light and second is artificial light. So what's the difference? Difference is nothing but just what? Any object, okay? You can take a sun as an example. So a object, sun is an object. We are taking it to understand. So here, can you tell me? Does the sun emit their own light? Does the sun have their own light? So what would be your answer? Answer should be what? Yes. Sun has their own light. It is a fact. It is a universal truth. Yes. So any object you can take, but condition is that that object should have their own object. This is major condition. This is major and only one condition. Any object you can take, but that object should have their own light. So those type of objects will be considered as nature light. Okay, nature light. Okay, and you can take sitar as their own light, but moon, it is said that moon does not have their own light, and I think so. According to me, it is a universal truth. It is said. I heard from some reports, you can see, when I was researching, I was taking classes. Then I heard that moon does not have their own light. Okay, if it is true, then I would say it is a universal truth. It will become universal truth. So you don't confuse. You don't get confused that moon has their own light. No. Yes, it is said that light is coming from moon, but that light is not of moon. That light is getting a reflect after hitting on the surface of moon. So that light is coming from other planets, you can say, from other planet or from another planet. So artificial light, any object you can take, but that object should have their own light. So those kind of lights will be considered as nature light. Now next, artificial light. In some words, in some sentence, we can understand what is artificial light. It is also an object. There are some objects which provide what light. We use this type of light, and even we use what nature light. but control of a natural light is not in our hand. Control of a artificial light is in our hand. Is in our hand. Okay, this is the difference between them. So artificial light is being used by human. Artificial light is used by human, by us, by living things. Okay, by living things it is used. That's why it was made. Artificial light was made, and that's why. So that whenever we need to what light, then we can use artificial light. So that's why it was this type of light was made. Now good. It is also object. For example, a torch you can take. Torch is object, but we are understanding what types of light. Torch does not have their own light. It is true or not? Yes, of course. It is a universal. Torch, artificial light, you can say artificial light objects do not have their own light. Do not have their own light. Clear? So artificial light will not have their own light. Yes, natural light has their own light. Has their own light. Clear? Now next let's understand about object, types of object. Opaque object, transparent object, translucent object, opaque object, transparent object, translucent object. These are types of objects. First, opaque object, and you can realize this type of objects in your daily life. Let's start from opaque object. This is object. There is no dot. So can we say this is an opaque object? You would say, how can we say? We don't know meaning of opaque object. So I would like to say about opaque object. It is an object, any object which does not allow to pass the coming light from source light is what opaque object. So coming light is blocked. Coming light is blocked by the object. So those type of objects are what? Those objects are what? Opaque. If light is being blocked by the object, so that object is opaque object. Light cannot pass through the object, so that object is opaque object. Okay. Light is falling on the surface of object, but it is not passing. Rather it is turning into another direction. So this object is opaque object. Did you understand? A object which is not giving permission to pass the coming light, and it turns into another direction. It means this object is blocking this light. So that this type of object we will consider as opaque object. It is no transparent object. Look, there are some objects which allow to pass the light which is coming from source light. Try to understand carefully. There are some objects which allow, if light is coming from source light, then this light will pass through the object, So if object is giving permission to pass the coming light, then this type of objects will be considered as a transparent objects. So what's the difference between opaque object and a transparent object? You would say difference is opaque object was not giving permission to pass the upcoming light, but here opaque no, transparent object is giving allow is giving permission to pass the upcoming light. So here to give permission, and you can say not to give permission. Okay. Yes, I can take an example. Here I can tell you about I have what a object. This is object. Now we are considering this object. You don't know what is the name of this object. Is this object opaque object? Is this object transparent object? So here, as we understood meaning of opaque object, transparent object. Clear? Light is coming. You can see me because of light is falling on surface of me. That's why you are able to see me. It means light is coming. That's why you are able to see. So light which is in front of me is falling on this object. Is falling on this object. And this coming light, I can understand you cannot see upcoming light. It is invisible. It is invisible. You have to understand. You have to understand that light is coming. Okay, it is invisible. Even we cannot observe. But somehow we can observe. Light is coming and it takes over turns. It turns into another direction, into different direction like that. Okay, but it will not pass this object because of this is opaque object. This is opaque object. It will not allow to pass the coming light. Okay, it is blocking the coming light. Light will hit on this surface, then it will turn into another direction, and this light is turning into another direction. It means this is opaque object. That's why light is able to turn into another direction. Clear? Now, if object is blocking the coming light, it means it will form. This object will form what? Shadow. You can see behind this is what? Can you see? This is shadow of this object. Are you able to see? So it happened because of it is blocking the coming light. That's why shadow is behind this object, and that's how shadow is a form of an opaque object. In the case of a transparent object, there will not be any kind of a shadow because of a transparent object. So here we can see shadow of this object. Reason is that this is opaque object. Light is being blocked by this object. That's why shadow is behind of this object. Okay, clear? From this example, we understood what light was coming and it was turning into another direction. It means this object was blocking the upcoming light. And if light is being blocked, light was being blocked, it means you can say a shadow is being formed by this object, because of reason is that light is being blocked by this object. Clear? So this object is what? Opaque object. This object is opaque object. Clear? Transparent object. What I don't have what? Transparent object. object I have. Yes, I got one object to explain transparent. To explain transparent. Look, this is also, look, this is also object, but which kind of object? This is question. This question arises. Which kind of? This is also object. We can see this. Even we can touch it. I have taken this as an example because of I have to tell you meaning of a transparent object with a real example. With a real example, I was taking this object to tell you about opaque object. So here, this object is better to explain transparent object. Try to understand. At the end, you will realize that this is opaque. This is a transparent object. So can you say is this object? Yes, you can say. But which type of object? This is what we are going to explore here. Now, of course, light is coming. Light is coming. That's why you are able to see this object. Light is coming, and my question is something else. I would tell you. So light is coming, and it is not turning into another direction. No, light is passing through this object. Light is passing through this object. You can see a little something amount of light, something will turn into direction. Otherwise, it will not turn. It is not turning. Light is passing through this object, and that's why. Can you tell me? Can you tell me? This is written what? Incidence ray. Now, can you tell me? Are you able to see incidence ray word? No, of course not. Because of this object. Because of this object. This object is in front of this word. Okay. You cannot see incidence ray word. Okay. Because light is not passing through this object. But in this case, you can see this incidence ray. Now you can see. Now how it became possible? When I was taking this object here over here, then you were not able to see this this word, and now I am taking this example, this object. Now you are able to see this incidence ray. Why it is happening? Why is it happening? Reason is that what? Light is passing. This is major reason. Light is passing through this object, so that's why anyone can see anything behind this object. Okay. Anybody can see object which is behind this object. Clear? You are able to see this incidence ray when this is over here. Okay. Now reason is what? Light is passing through this object. Light is not turning into another direction after hitting on this surface. Okay. Now if light is passing through this object, it means there will not be any kind of there will not be shadow. Here you can see this is shadow because of here you can see some shadow of this object. Reason is that I told you right now, I told you what some little amount of light is turning into another direction because of this is not a clean. This is not a clean. Some light, some amount of light is turning into another direction. That's why you can see some shadow of this object. But more amount of light are passing through this object. That's why you can see incidence ray when this is over here. Clear? Now, next thing. Translucent object. Translucent object. What is the meaning of a translucent object? Look. This kind of object, will allow some light, will allow to pass some light, but some light blocked will be blocked by the same object. Okay, there is one object, light is coming like from here, light is coming from here. Some object, some light will cross this object, but some light will turn into another direction. This will happen when object is what? Object is blur. You can say object is a transparent object. If a object is if there is a object and light is passing through that object, but some light is not passing, so that object is a translucent object. Now here you are here in front of this object, light is passing, okay, it is a continue. In front of this object you are here, okay. You can see what some area behind this. You can see some area behind this object, but some area you cannot see because of light, because of this is object. What this is object, this is a translucent object, okay. Some will be transparent on this object and some will be opaque object. We understood what how shadow is formed. Shadow is formed by blocking the light. Shadow is a form of object. We understood reflection. Light of reflection, you can see light comes up from source light and it hits on the surface, it turns into another direction like that, okay. So this is what a reflection of light. This is what a reflection of light. A reflection of this light. Here this was a reflection of light. We understood how shadows fall. We also understood a reflection of light. Clear artificial light. Artificial light. Shall we move towards now? I have some question based on this. Now here, any objects which have their own light, for example the sun, candle flame. So this sun and candle flame have their own light. So this type of objects will be considered as luminous object. luminous object. Any object which does not have their own light will be considered as non-luminous object. For example, drinking glass, wood. First question. This is question. Question is asking the stars. The stars are found in the sky. The stars are slash fill in the blanks. Okay. The stars are blank objects. So it is asking which type of object is a star. A star is okay. So the stars are blank objects, whereas the moon is a. So we have to tell which kind of object star is and which kind of object moon is. So star, and you have given what option? You will say what luminous, non-luminous, luminous, non-luminous, non-luminous. So first will be what? It has, as I told you from here, any object, okay, any object, which has their own light. So that light, we will consider that light as a luminous object, because of reason is that that object has their own light. That's why we are considering that object as a luminous object. Reason is what? That object has their own light. Again and again I am telling you, because some words become important. That's why I will be repeating again and it will happen automatically. So here, we were where? We were understanding, yes. Now, a object which does not have their own light, and there are a lot of objects which don't have their own light, and there are some other objects which have their own light. So any object which does not have their own light, so that light, we will consider that light as a non-luminous object. So here, can you tell me the stars? Do the stars have their own light? Tell me. Do the stars have their own light? Your answer would be what? Yes. Stars have their own light. It is a universal truth. And I was telling you what? Star has their own light, sun has their own light, candle has their own light. It is a fact. We cannot change this fact. So we would say what? This is luminous object. Luminous object. Reason I want to do here. What is the reason behind arms ring? What is the reason behind arms ring? Reason is star has their own light. That's all. Next, whereas the moon is also object. What? Which kind of object? Question is which kind of object? Moon is okay. As you know, moon does not have their own light. It is a truth. We see what we see. We think that moon has their own light, but truth is something else. Something else. Whatever we see, which light is coming from moon. This light is not of moon. Okay, this light is not of moon. Light which we see, which is coming from moon, is not of moon. Okay, it's not of moon. Now you would ask me, what then? Tell me why, from where light is coming from moon? From where light is coming from moon? So I would say that light is coming after hitting. So you can I can say light is coming from other planet, and it is hitting on the surface of moon. Then it is a reflecting. So reflecting of another light is reaching to us. So that light which we see, which is coming from moon, is a reflecting light. Is a reflected light. You can say. Clear? So this was it. So finally, can you say that moon does not have their own light? Yes. So if it does not have their own light, we will consider it as a non-luminous object. Clear? So option you have to take. Which one is for this question? Luminous, then again luminous. No, luminous, non-luminous. Yes, non-luminous, luminous. Wrong. First luminous should come. Non-luminous, non-luminous. Wrong, brother. Shall we take next question? This was the first question. Based on this concept, we are going to take next question. Next question, okay? In next question, there is a statement. Even this is a complete question which is in front of. Even I don't know. Even I don't know answer of this question. I will answer of this question with you. Okay, after understanding this question. Ruchi is a name of a girl. Ruchi has plants in her kitchen. In her kitchen. She has plants in her kitchen. They need lots of light. Of course, plant need a lot of lights so that plant can take light as a whole. They need lots of light. What kind of windows should she install so that her indoor garden, we are not talking about a window which is found in computer device. We are talking about window which is used while making house. So that window I am talking about. What kind of windows should she install so that her indoor garden can have the best light? Indoor garden. So of course not opaque object, because opaque object will not allow to enter the light which will come from source light. Of course, this is not answer for this question. We have to tell which kind of a window will she install for coming light. Transparent object, I would say yes. Not translucent. So for best, this will be better. Translucent, dark colored, no. Only transparent object. So best is this. We can use also this, but this will be better. We have this option in this option. That's why we are taking this as answer. Dark colored window, no. Okay. For best lighting, transparent is better. So answer would be B. Answer would be B. Now next question. Next question is, not writing for complete for now answer this question. The size of the shadow, the size of the shadow of an object is always equal to the size of the object. I would say not, no. Size can be large, can be small, according to where is a place of light, where is a place of light. So of course the first statement is not saying correct. Reason is that shadow of that object will be large, will be a small, okay, will be a small, will be equal to object, okay, and object shadow size of object will not change. So the size of the shadow of an object is always equal to the size of the object. So no, first is incorrect. First statement is incorrect. So the color of the shadow of an opaque object formed from a blue light, formed from a blue light source will be blue in color. The second statement is the saying when there is shadows are forming of an object and light. So color of light is blue, which is coming, okay, which is coming, and it is hitting on the surface, and then opaque object is forming shadow. So color of light blue, and it is saying will color of shadow be blue? This is what question is missing. So answer would be no. Color of a shadow always will be what? Black. Always remember. Color of a shadow will be always what? Will be always black. Whether color of light is black, is blue, white, this that, except black. So color of shadow is always what? Black color. Okay. No. First was the same, but yeah, weird. So finally we can say both statements are incorrect. Okay. So this is the answer. Now next question. Next question is we have this comfort question. Answer this after understanding question. Okay. Cone looks like this. Cone looks like this, isn't it? A cone can cast a shadow. Can cast. It can form a shadow. Yes, of course. This is if this is what of a object. So a cone can cast a shadow in the shape of what? So question is asking what will be shape of this object? This or this? So I think no rectangle. I think so. Circle I can say. Circle. It will form like that. Yeah? It will form like that. Not like that. So of course. Anyhow, shadow of this cone will not be a rectangle. Circle, triangle. Triangle it can be. It can be okay. Triangle. So I think second. Not triangle. Hexagon. I think so. No. I think so. Hexagon looks like this. Like this. So not hexagon. I can say circle or triangle. Circle or triangle. So shadow of this cone could be circle or a triangle. Let's see answer. So answer is the correct. Answer is correct. Next question. This is complete question. What is it saying? What is it saying? Which of the following is not an initial condition for the what? For the formation of a shadow. For the formation of shadow, which of the following is not an initial condition? You have given condition. So if you are observing that this is not an initial condition for the formation of a shadow, then you can say, okay, that this is not an initial. If you think so, first let's start. So we understood what question is asking. Which one, if which one is not an initial condition for the formation of a shadow? This is what question is asking. And now we are going to look this. First is the same. First option is the same. There should be a source of light and a screen. Okay, this will be source. There should be a source of light and a screen. But one thing more, what object? One thing more, what object? So just for the formation of the shadow, of course, a screen, it is a compulsory. Source of light, it is also compulsory. Now next, the object must be placed in the path of light. No. I think no. In the path of light, in front of light. It is not compulsory. We can put anywhere, but light from anywhere should fall on surface, on the object. Says the same. There should be an opaque object to obstruct the path of light. Yes, it is also true. There must be a transparent object to obstruct the path of light. No. So I think this one. Why this is why object is a transparent object? To obstruct the path of light, transparent object will not obstruct. Okay, obstruct, which means a blocking. So of course this transparent object cannot block the coming light from the source light. So it is not an initial for the formation of the shadow. So the object must be placed. Yes, I can say light should fall on the object. Light should fall on the object. Then that object can fall. That opaque object can fall shadow. When light will fall on the surface of the object. Clear? So this is not an initial condition for the formation of a shadow, because of reason is that object is a transparent object, and this fourth option is saying that opaque object will obstruct the path of light. So it is not a universal truth. That's all.